Hey guys, welcome back to One Stop Biology. So in today's video, we are going to talk about drug and alcohol abuse. And guys, we'll try and finish off this topic as soon as possible because this will be the last topic of our chapter 8, human health and diseases. So basically, we are right now covering chapter 8 of class 12 NCRT. And we have already covered the entire immunity part, the entire diseases part, right? So we just have to cover drug and alcohol abuse. So let's start with that. So guys, basically drugs are something, these are chemicals. It can be derived, naturally, or it can be cooked in a lab. Right, and what is does it does exactly is, they give you hallucinations. They basically, somehow disturb your psychiatry as well as they harm your systems, right? So it is nothing less of a disease. It is like a disease itself, right? So common drugs, which basically common abusive drugs are, opioids, cannabinoids, alkaloids. So we'll study something about these drugs first. So we'll take up opioids first. Opioids, guys, are the drugs which bind to opioid receptor which is present in our central nervous system, right? So there are opioids, which are the drugs. Now, these bind to specific opioid receptors in our central nervous system and gastrointestinal tract, right? Now, what happens is, there is a common name which is heroin, which is commonly called as smack as well. Now, this is chemically what? This is diacetyl morphine. It is diacetyl morphine, which is a white, odorless, bitter crystalline compound. It is what? It is white, odorless, bitter crystalline compound. Now, this is obtained by acetylation of morphine. And this morphine, the drug morphine, is extracted from a poppy plant. It is extracted from latex of poppy plant, which is scientifically known as Papaver somniferum. Papaver somniferum, right? And how do people take it? It is taken by snorting or even injections. And basically, heroin is nothing but it is a depressant and it slows down your body functions. So, in shorter duration, what you feel is you feel good because you are not able to think clearly. So, people feel that, whatever stress they have is all gone, but what it is doing basically is it is harming your body psychologically as well as physically. So you get harmed not just physically but mentally as well. So guys, this is the structure of morphine, right? Now the second type of drug is cannabinoids, right? So these are again group of chemicals which interact with cannabinoid receptors, right? So we have certain receptors against these drugs basically, right? So the opioids, they react with the opioid receptors, the cannabinoids, they react with the cannabinoid receptors. Now these are again present in the brain, right? So there are natural cannabinoids. These natural cannabinoids are obtained from inflorescence inflorescence of the plant Cannabis sativa. Cannabis sativa. So what happens is that the flower, tops, leaves, and resin of cannabis plant, all of them are used in various combinations to produce marijuana, which is the drug. Marijuana. They form hashish, charas, ganja. So there are different types of drugs, guys. There are different types of drugs which are basically formed in combination of the flower top, leaves, and raisins of cannabis. And this is the structure of a cannabinoid molecule. This is the structure of a cannabinoid molecule. And how it is taken? It is taken by inhalation or oral ingestion, right? So basically, it affects your cardiovascular system. It affects cardiovascular system of the body. Now, the third type of drug is coca alkaloid or cocaine. Again, you guys must have heard of these names. Now, coca alkaloid or cocaine is obtained from coca plant. Coca plant. It is known as Erythroxylum coca and it is native to South America, right? Now, what happens is that this drug interferes with the transport of neurotransmitter, which is dopamine, right? So, cocaine is commonly known as coke or crack, and it is usually snorted, right? So you snort it, and it has a potent stimulating action on again central nervous system, and it basically produces a sense of euphoria and increased energy. So people actually feel highly energetic, right? But excessive dosage of cocaine can cause severe hallucinations, right? So it can cause severe hallucinations, and even overdose of all these drugs can cause death, right? And like this, there are other plants as well which have hallucinogenic properties. Like you have Atropa, you have Dhatura. All these plants have hallucinogenic properties, right? So apart from these three drugs, guys, even drugs like barbiturates, benzodiazepines, there are amphetamines. There are so many drugs which are used as medicines, and these are used for diseases, mental illness, like insomnia, depression. Now again, morphine is a very effective sedative and painkiller, so morphine is used as a painkiller, right? But access of these drugs to people become habitual to these drugs, and that access makes a person, or makes a person crave for more, and that uh, you know causes overdosage of drugs, which leads to death, right? Now apart from that, even normal tobacco smoking, as we talked about tobacco smoke in cancer. So tobacco in the form of smoke or chewed or even used as a snuff, can cause a lot of problems. So basically, this tobacco has nicotine. Now, nicotine, what it does is it stimulates adrenal gland to release adrenaline, right? And non-adrenaline into blood circulation. Now, both of these basically increases the blood pressure and heart rate. Both of this raise the heart rate and blood pressure. So basically, smoking is associated with a lot of diseases, like you have cancers of lung, you have urinary bladder and throat cancer, you have bronchitis, you have coronary heart disease, you have gastric ulcer. So tobacco, taking tobacco in the form of smoke, in the form of chewing, you get cancer of oral cavity, right? Is very, very harmful, and that is why in the last video also I said that one must be aware of all these things. Apart from that, smoking increases carbon monoxide content in blood, and that reduces the concentration of the hemobind oxygen, which causes oxygen deficiency in the body. So you'll feel breathless, you'll feel breathlessness if you are a regular smoker, right? Now let's see how the adolescence and drug or alcohol abuse is related. So guys, adolescence means basically a period or a process when a child becomes matures in term of their attitude, and I would say not just attitude, but also you know beliefs for how the society works, or how they have to be participated in the society. So basically, guys, if we talk about, what is the age when you consider, and that particular to be, adolescent, is is basically in between 12 to 18 years. So people in between 12 to 18 years of age during adolescence, they are accompanied by several biological and behavioral changes, right? So that is why during this phase, people are highly vulnerable to different type of environment. So that is why, guys, it said that that is a very vulnerable phase for the mental and psychological development of an individual. So basically, at this age, if someone starts using drugs or alcohol out of curiosity, might get into a regular usage, might get into an abusive phase because of maybe stress, pressure in academics, exams, right? And that makes them addicted to the drugs and alcohol. And see, now addiction and its dependence. So basically, addiction is nothing but a psychological attachment to a certain effect, right? So such as euphoria, you feel temporarily, you feel that you're fine, right? You feel that you do not have any kind of stress because your brain is kind of getting hallucinated and your brain is not able to work. It is not able to function in a normal way, and it is not able to think. You're not able to think that you know it's just for the time being. And as soon as the effects of these drugs or alcohol gets over, that is when you feel that you need to take it again to be in the same state, right? So basically, it's a vicious circle, and it leads to regular use of the same drug or alcohol, right? And now, if you want to be away from these things, if you want to just stop taking all these things, people start getting unpleasant withdrawal symptoms. So basically, there is an unpleasant withdrawal syndrome, right? So basically, if it is discontinued, people have a lot of physical, pain. You'll see people in pain, you'll see people, highly stressed because they are now under the withdrawal syndrome. So basically people will have anxiety, you will shake, you will feel nauseated, you'll sweat a lot, you will have pain in your different parts of the body, right? So basically, it is very difficult to come out of it. Stopping it again is very, very difficult. So it's better not to start with these things, right? So, guys, what happens, when you get addicted to alcohol or drug? What are the effects? So, basically, there are immediate effects. Immediate adverse effects are like, having being very abusive physically, reckless behavior, why being violent, and then excessive dosage of such drugs may even lead to coma and death. And that is what we call it as overdose of OD, right? And those who take apart from this, so you'll have coma, you'll get into coma, you will die, there'll be respiratory failure, heart failure, or even cerebral hemorrhage because it's damaging your brain as well. Then there are people who take drugs intravenously. People who take drugs intravenously are highly likely to acquire serious infections like AIDS, hepatitis B. Then you have chronic use of drug and alcohol damages, which cause to your nervous system and liver. So people who are alcoholic have liver cirrhosis. So your liver is completely damaged and people die because of that. Then there is another misuse of drug to enhance performance in sports or athletics is where people take narcotic and analgesic or steroids or diuretics, and these hormones basically increase muscle strength and bulk, and they promote aggressiveness. But for the shorter duration, they'll increase your athletic performance. But ultimately, what you're doing is you're causing problems for the long term, right? Now, apart from that, what is the prevention and control? So, see, one should always avoid peer pressure. If you feel that you're not get good enough in one thing, it doesn't mean that you're not good enough in something else. Everyone should just keep searching for, what is the best possible way to excel in life, what is the interest areas of a child, and a child should never be pushed beyond his or her limit, whether it's studies, it's sports, or any other activity as such. So avoiding peer pressure is one. Then you have education and counseling, so that people can face problems and stresses, right? So even if you are stressed because of some competitive exam, like you guys would be appearing for NEET, right? But even if you fail to clear the exam, that doesn't mean that it is such an important part of your life that you are going to ruin your life because of it, right? You would try again, you might clear, or you might excel in something else, right? So basically, channelizing your energy into healthy pursuits like healthy sports, reading, music, yoga, or any extracurricular activity that you want to indulge into, you should go for it. That definitely reduces the stress level. Now, see, if you feel stressed, if you feel pressure, what should you do? You should go to your friends, you should go to your peers, you should talk to them, you should ask them, what is working from them, and you can ask them to guide you. You can definitely go to your parents, your teachers, and you can ask them to guide you. You can tell them that you are feeling anxiety and you have this guilt and you have this problem. But the more you are going to share your stress, your anxiety, the more better you are going to feel, because there will be someone who is definitely going to help you, right? So apart from these things, if you feel that you have friends who are somewhat into stress, who are somewhat depressed, you should always help them out. So it's basically to alert their parents or your teachers about such friends who are basically, you feel that who are into this kind of stress, and who basically need some kind of help. And apart from all these, there are all kinds of professional help and medical help available. So, one can definitely visit a qualified psychiatrist, a de-addiction expert. There are so many rehabilitation centers and programs going on for this, right? So, consulting with professional, with an expert, will always help you, because they are going to professionally tell you what is better for you. But guys, there is never an option to be stressed and be abusive to these drugs or alcohol. So it's a very, very, generalized topic, but I didn't want to skip it. I want you to be aware of all these things. It will definitely help you in your preparation and also in your life. So, guys, I hope you would have understood this video. Please do not forget to like it and share it with your friends. And if you are new to the channel, please do subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon, so that you can get all the videos that I'll be uploading. I'll be definitely uploading the entire syllabus, right? So see you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye bye.